We are not, I am not. Institute for Black Solidarity with Israel is not commenting on Israel's immigration policy, whether it's Jews who make aliyah or whether it's illegal immigrants who've come, asylum seekers. That's not the point. The point is that this story has been going on since 2006, and you never heard about it in the media until something bad happened. Was uninterested in telling you about all the amazing stories. Adam Bashar is a young man from Sudan who we had the pleasure of meeting. My friend Daniel introduced me. I met him face to face along with all Black college students back in 2016. While I was on staff with Christians United for Israel, my colleague at that time, David Walker, who was over the campus ministry, we led about 30 or 40 all Black college students to Israel. We had an amazing time. And one of the things that David and we talked about was what we believe these Black students needed to see. So one of many things was that they needed to understand the African refugee crisis, which was already playing out in the media, and Israel was just being hammered. All kinds of lies and distortions and manipulations were going on, only to pit the Jewish state as some sort of racist apartheid regime. So Adam Bashar is a young man who lives in Tel Aviv. He fled Sudan like so many others did. At that time, he owned 1 or 2 different money exchange businesses and everything. The man was doing really, really well, right? He came and talked about it. I talked about this in a couple of articles without getting all the details. He shared the story about him being there. Check this out. And longing to return to Sudan because he wants to see his country strengthened. So he very much appreciates Israel, thanked the Israelis for allowing him to be there, to go to school, to start businesses, but his longing was to see peace come to his nation. And he was talking to those Black students and wanting to join them with this move for peace in Sudan. Why am I telling you that story? Adam represents those parts of the refugees and asylum seekers in Israel. By force, they fled for their lives, and they appreciate the Jewish state, and they want to see their nations strong. A very good friend, Nomatemba Sitole, she's a Zulu from South Africa, and I met her years ago while she's living in exile she was living in Connecticut, and we had the same bishop at the time. I would come there for those different conferences and everything. We became very, very close friends. We call her Malume. I've written about her in a book and everything, Zionism in the Black Church, which you can get on ibsi.org/store. And she explained how during the fight against apartheid, there were some Black South Africans who fled, if you will, for safety for them and their families, with the full intention of returning to a free South Africa. Some went to the UK, some went to the United States, some went to Canada. And what they were waiting on, they were still fighting the fight against the apartheid government. And when apartheid fell, Nelson Mandela was released from Robben Island, and that whole scene, for those of you who are old enough to remember, you remember those images, those South African nationals returned. They appreciated their host countries, again, were productive members of those societies. And then when it was safe for them to resume and build their nation, they returned. There are many African asylum seekers and refugees in Israel with that same mindset. So they are there for safety, for security, for some of them to make money to send to their families, which are going to come to in a moment, right? And they appreciate Israel. They appreciate the Jewish state, and they are longing to return to their nations, whether it's Eritrea, whether it's Sudan, and so that they can build in a place of peace.